Million Story, this is Ruth Kell, and today we're presenting a video about feeding the horse.
The several different parts we'll be going through is the horse's gastrointestinal tract, several different feed components, and two different scenarios of horses and what recommended feeds we think they should be given.
The gastrointestinal tract is also known as the GIT. The GIT lies within the abdominal and pelvic region of the horse, which is caudal to the diaphragm. The structure is as follows, which is the mouth, including teeth and the tongue, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, which is a monogastric, the small intestine, including the duodenum, the jejunum, ileum, the large intestine, which includes the cecum, large colon, and small colon, and then the anus/rectum. There are several glands which work with the GIT, and these are salivary glands, the liver, and the pancreas. The jaw, which is this area, consists of both lateral and vertical movements. The lips, teeth, and tongue are suited for prehension, ingestion, and alteration of physical form of feedstuff. To aid the feedstuff getting through the mouth, the upper lip is very strong, which then passes the feedstuff through to the incisors and then through to the cheek teeth, which are molars, and they grind the feedstuff. To aid in this as well, saliva is produced, which helps to create the food into a bolus. Hay and grass particles can be made to less than 1.6 millimeters in length, making it easier for the horse to digest. The esophagus is a muscular tube lined with mucous membrane and is continuous with the external skin at the mouth and the anus. It connects with the stomach via the cardiac sphincter. The stomach is about 10% of the GIT and stays within 2/3 full for about 2 to 6 hours. To exit the stomach, it is called the pyloric sphincter. Both of these valves are one-way, meaning the food can't get back up the esophagus or out through into the rest of the digestive system unless the horse wants it to. The upper section of the stomach is covered in a mucosal surface to protect it against hydrochloric acid. The small intestine, which consists of the duodenum, jejunum, and ileum, is involved with pancreatic secretions and the hepatic ducts, mainly the jejunum. The jejunum is up to 28 meters long, and the ileum is home to the ileal orifice. The large intestine contains the cecum, large colon, small colon. The cecum has a base, body, and an apex and can hold up to 28 to 36 litres. The large colon is split into the right ventral colon, sternal flexure, left dorsal colon, diaphragmatic flexure, the right dorsal colon, and from this the digester enters into the small colon, and then after that it exits through the rectum.
There are several different functions of the GIT. The first is ingestion, then mastication, absorption of nutrients, and defecation. There are two different types of digestion which take place within the GIT. The first is in the stomach, which is enzymatic digestion, and the next is in the hindgut, which is fermentation. The horse takes at least 3 times longer to chew forages than it does concentrates. For example, it takes about 3,000 to 3,500 for a forage. It reduces the nutritional constituents of the food into molecular compounds that are small enough to be absorbed and used for energy, and building other compounds for incorporation within body tissues. It also is in charge of collecting down broken carbs via the portal venous system and drains the small intestine and partially filters the blood, which passes through the liver. The bicarbonate content of digestion increases in the ileum and the liver when it secretes bile. The bile simulation is also caused by presence of gastric hydrochloric acid within the duodenum. Roughage can be held in the large intestine for long enough for microbial fermentation to break down structural carbs. Fermentation and VFA absorption, which is volatile fatty acids, are promoted by the buffering effect of bicarbonate from potassium from the ileum and the anaerobic environment, but normally motility to ensure adequate fermentation time and mixing.
What nutrients are absorbed where? The small intestine absorbs fats, proteins, simple carbohydrates, and all vitamins and minerals. Any remaining vitamins and mineral molecules move through the large intestine, and if they're not absorbed here, then they'll be excreted. Fat-soluble vitamins get stored in the liver, and water-soluble ones are absorbed into the bloodstream and are not stored, therefore need supplementing. H2O, or water, starts to be absorbed in the small intestine, but the majority is absorbed in the lumen of the cecum, then the ventral colon and the small colon along with electrolytes. The large intestine is in charge of breaking down fibre and absorbing complex carbs. Once they're absorbed, they are taken into the liver in the form of glucose and stored as glycogen. Phosphate is also absorbed in the large intestine as well as in the small intestine.
Oats are added to the feed for a buzz. This component doesn't need to be soaked. It is more of an energy-dense cereal than any other component. This component is a rolled based. It breaks open as husks. The outer layer of the oat allows digestion, and the enzymes are easier to access the starch and other nutrients. The brands can process crimping and rolled, crushing, and this can offer the borderline increase in digestibility in the nutrients. They are easy to digest, and there is no common digestive disorders in this feed. In the outer wall of the digestive system, it's activated to spread over the nervous system. During rise in the perisystis of digestive system, secretion of digestive fluids rise and make oats swell in the stomach. This makes it easier for the horse to digest. Linseed is traditionally cooked, and this helps with digestion. It is high in calories and can make the horse's coat shiny and oily. This offers protein, oil, and adds condition to the horse. Linseed helps with constipation, improving digestive system, improving blood cholesterol levels, insulin sensitivity, and blood glucose control. They also contain omega-3 in the horse's diet. Soybean meal is reliably cooked products. They are supplement proteins as well. The standard hexene extracted soy protein contains 440 kg CPKG. Dehulled meals are uniformly high, containing 840 to 890 CP, commercially available in the brands. Both meals contain less than 10 kg oil kg. Sugar beet has to be soaked for 24 hours, and this helps with digestion to be helped quicker. It is added as an extra component in the horse's feed to help with high digestible fibre. The energy stance is like oats, which gives good calcium contents. The energy is fibre and sugar, and this increases the palatability choice. It can have a fear in the stomach, which can cause rupture, choke, and colic. It has a high digestibility in dry matter, which equals 95%, and then can increase the digestive system loading, and it has better utilisation and digester capacity. Sucrose is already digested in the body. Quick effects of blood glucose levels activates release of fuel. Our first scenario was a 13-hand, 15 overweight pony with laminitis. So the first feed that we got was a shape-up balancer. So this feed was suitable for ponies with laminitis, ponies that were overweight, good doers, native ponies, horses and ponies that were needed with special feed, healthy metabolisms, low calorie fed, fussy eaters. The benefits that you have with this feed is that it gives you a healthy digestive environment in restricted rations. Omega-3 was given in it with fatty acids. It supports hoof quality growth, a source of magnesium, of normal cell sensitivity, and cinnamon for palatable and antioxidant for fussy eaters. So the science behind it was it has omega-3 in it. This prevents inflammation, cartilage degradation, and helps with joints mobility. Acid buff, this helps with acid levels, keeps normal pH to ensure that the health of the bacterial population in the large intestine stays down. Mycotoxins, the lower nutrition value forage contains cell that exits the body and protects side effects and stuff like that. Antioxidants, the high level antioxidant benefits keeps optimal cellular defences and health and well-being, and magnesium is a normal cell and palate function, the nerve and transmission, and muscle contraction. And then the second feed that we had was Arlevi, which is suitable for intolerant and high starch requirement for support and muscle function, low starch function, and ration to support optimal digestive health. So the benefits were cereal free, low starch ration, low in sugar, high digestible and super fibres to reduce and reliance on starch to provide energy. High in digestible super fibres to support a healthy digestive system, a superior antioxidant levels to assist normal muscle function, highly fortified with supporting minerals, and quality protein sources to optimise muscle and tissue repair and renewal.
The next scenario we had was a 15-hand 3-year-old thoroughbred flat racehorse, which obviously for his job is going to need high energy levels and a conditioning feed to keep overall condition. So we chose 2 different feeds, multi-purpose racing cubes and Equidule. The multi-purpose racing cubes are suitable for horses, racehorses in full work, the national hunt, flat racehorses and point-to-pointers. It is also for horses in need of high amount of protein, vitamins and minerals, and also ones that are going through sort of periods of intense fitness training. It's an energy efficient, as it's a multi-purpose ration, and racehorse cubes is sort of a mixture of starch, oil and readily digestible fibre. It meets all the energy levels that a horse actually requires. Its ingredients are very varied. There's barley, wheat feed, soya hulls, soya bean meal, normal wheat, dried sugar, molasses, soya oil, calcium carbonate, dicalcium phosphate and sodium chloride, and just general vitamins and minerals. So some science behind it is that, like protein, they're going to need a lot of protein for growth and repair, and it's said that the dietary protein concentration can influence the running ability of a flat racehorse. Protein catabolism accounts for like no more than 5 to 15% of the energy consumed during exercise, and it's required in pretty much all horses. So for a racehorse which is running a lot of races, it's going to need it more often. The starch is going to be needed for its high energy levels. So glucose is the main energy supply of a horse, and it's always stored in the muscles as glycogen. This comes from the starch in feeds. So the glycogen is deposited in the muscles of the horse, and through training the glycogen capacity of a thoroughbred muscle, it can be increased by 1/3. The next feed was Equidule, which is suitable for adding concentrated calories into a ration without excessive cereal intake. So if your horse is getting too high off cereal feeds, then you can add Equidule in and reduce the amount of cereal feed you're feeding it. It conditions all types of horses, which is why I thought it would be good for racehorses. And it's sort of particularly poor doers, so if you've got a horse which is lacking condition and not really up to racing standard, then this will sort of be ideal for it really. It provides a sustained slow release energy source, and it's sort of preparing horses for it says show and sale rings, however for racehorses they are going to need that condition as well. Its features and benefits is that it's extremely palatable and easy and convenient to use. It's highly digestible and is efficiently utilised, so the digestive system can absorb it where it needs to be. It contains super fibres, which are long-lasting forms of energy, and it's got a low starch level, so if you're already feeding something like a conditioning, like racehorse cubes, then this feed will be low in the starch because you're already providing a horse with starch. It adds calories to a ration but without the excess cereal intake, and also it supplies highly palatable and digestible form of oil for like outstanding gloss and skin condition. The scientific reasoning is that in addition to this, Equidule delivers all the benefits of vegetable oils but in a pelleted form. So scientific research is proven its superiority in optimising performance in athletic horses. During strenuous exercise, horses fed Equidule have a lower lactic acid level, and rather than compared to horses fed on corn oil, which optimises their stamina in the long run. Also, an Equidule was used as a replacement for vegetable oil in horses' feeds. Studies have shown that subjects display a lower heart rate and subsequent shorter recovery periods after strenuous exercise, which will mean they will recover a lot faster after a race, and they will not reach that cut-off point in their race so that their heart can't actually work anymore, so it will be more beneficial for them.